Bryce, another offensive MVP. You had it in the finals. Now you have it in the national finals. 3 touchdown performance in all different parts of the game, running and passing. Tell us what you're feeling right now.
Honestly, it's really about the guys who, like Kurt said it earlier, but like ever since I've played, like it's the guys you lose. Just a big shout out to the reason why I'm still playing football, Dan Lamoa. He passed away in 2013, like my first year actually playing college football, and he's a close friend. And I've lost other people moving forward. I just recently lost my brother-in-law, and a lot of people take grief and they don't motivate it and they don't push it forward. But what you got to understand is you're doing it for now you have to do it for them. Your goals now become more impactful because they're not here to do what they wanted to do. And that's really that's what motivated me to come back. And I just, that's who I think about when these moments happen, is just everyone who couldn't be here.
That's awesome, and I think that's what makes football so special. What did you, watching your game today, it looked like you were kind of out of body almost. It looked like it was easy for you, the way that you were running, how hard you were running. You were getting open in the passing game, which was something, I don't know if it's new for you, but something that I was new. You made tough catches, releasing in the backfield. Like, how did you feel? Like, did you feel like you were in flow from the beginning of the game? Because it sure looked like it.
Yeah, the flow state. So just like, everything was there. To be honest, a shout out to GTA. They would get just one, it was almost break, and then it was just like one thing, and every time I was like, But what's funny is Jordan, since the beginning, since they were like, hey, come play, everything, they were like, hey, we're going to get you in the passing game. I'm like, I'm waiting for it. Every week. And then,
shocked me a little bit.
Every week. You know what they kept saying? It was funny. We'll do it like more into the season. We don't need it right now. We'll do it Airdrie semi-playoffs. And I was like, wait, no. We'll do it the finals, Cold Lake. Actually, we don't need it. And then they finally, because of the way they play, if you come out in quads, it empties that other side where you're one-on-one. So that's where that matchup came up, and that's where they were like, we can utilize you in the pass game more.
I thought that was genius because when you went to quad, you got a touchdown off of that. You went to quads, you leaked out, and nobody covered you. You were wide open in the end zone. That was a bit easy. You had another one where you ran like a 12-yard out, which made quite the hell of a catch on it.
It was supposed to be a 10-yard out, but I had to push it because I didn't want to. And then he played outside shade. He did a good job. So I was like, oh, shoot. And then when I made my cut, I was like, oh, no. Am I past? I was just worried about that. I wasn't worried about where I was at. And then I was just like, oh, I got to get the ball. Because people think that catching is hard. It's really just like when you see the ball in the air, you're like, all you do is focus on it. If you get hit, you get hit. And I don't know if you saw out there a couple times, I'd be in my route and they'd throw the ball and these guys would just level me. I didn't even have the ball. I was like getting destroyed. So I was just like, oh. So it's really just about that concentration all the way through. But yeah, I will say, we opened up the passing game, and that's what Canadian football really is, right? 3 down. That you got to be a good receiver out of the backfield. So
it looked like your group was really ready to go. It looked like you guys knew what was at stake. Did you feel it coming into the game that this group was special and was going to get it done early?
Yeah, I think it's kind of cheating to have both Jordan Heather and myself in the backfield.
It's a little bit cheating, yeah.
His RPO, I don't know if you've seen throughout the season, it's actually been called dead. They thought I had the ball in the Cold Lake game. They actually blew it dead, and they were like, what? And I was like, I don't have the ball. Jordan threw a route, and they were like, oh, inadvertent whistle. So that special relationship right there, that's a key point in being ready. I don't know if you guys know, but this was so important for Smokes, Kyle. The O-line was just ready to go, and they were like, we're going to put a hat on a hat, and we're going to move the ball. I think this was the least yard per carry I had ever in this league. But it was just grinding.
You found it when you needed it.
Yeah, found it when you needed it. I got blown up on that long run. I was like this and boom, and I was like, oh my God. They really wanted it. Shout out, dude, they have such good Farouk Musa, Walsh, Livingston. Dude, they have a say guys. They got a lot of CFL guys. That number 90's great, 47's great. They came out and played. I think what is the difference is it really comes down to those little things, the penalties, the things that sustain the drives. And then we decided, I think right here, we're going to go 3 down power, and I'm going to just run a quarterback and run.
Well, we called that in the booth. We were like, just do it every single time. It's not going to stop. Yeah. And I think that was.
And I would have walked in if someone 47 made a hell of a play. He knifed.
He
got me, and I was like, Man, but yeah, no, I just love it. And it's about competing. Like, you're a competitor, Teach. Omar, you're a competitor. You were out there playing linebacker out of position. Like, yeah. So, dude, it's just, and that's what I would love for this league to just be about. It's just compete. Go out there. Let's not complain about who has the better, like, the quarterbacks and stuff like that. I get it. It is a disadvantage in this level of ball. But there's things you can do to get better every year. And like little things, dude, I didn't get anything paid. I flew out, I visited, I stayed out here. I'm running my business remotely. Like, I decided to come out. I got $0 for zero anything. I just love football. And at the end of the day, there's guys like that. And then there's my boy Alex, who's like, I wouldn't do that if it was $1 million and he played in the CMFL, right? Like, it's just that's what matters, right? And it's all about just competing, and that's what I love. And I
can feel the joy in your voice, man, and it makes me a little emotional because I appreciate that so much, and that's what it's all about. I'm really just so happy for you. Last question for me: you gonna run it back?
I did buy a new helmet. Actually, in the Red Deer game, your D-end destroyed my F7. I got smashed down, and I had a bruise in my eye, and like we took off my helmet, and everything was falling apart. I was like, oh, I need a new helmet. And so, 100%. Like, I bought a new helmet. I'm actually happy I didn't rush for over 200 because I told the boys the O-line I'd buy them all new helmets. So I'm very happy.
With the $0?
No, and I would have to pay out of my pocket for their stuff. But before we sign off, do you have one more question, Omar?
No, we're good to wrap up.
Hey, I just want to say shout out to my family back home. If anyone doesn't understand, my dad's going through, he has super nuclear cerebral palsy, and I know he would be here if he could. And I love him, and I love my family. So thank you guys, and yeah, it means a lot. And he's loved football. I grew up a Niners fan. I stayed up watching 49ers since I was a little kid, and I think that's really what football's all about. So thank you guys.
Awesome, buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
love you guys. Hey,
So
good.
happy.
Yeah.